Hello everyone, welcome to the last part of the Halloween special. Happy Halloween or scary Halloween sounds better. Starting off with some terraforming here to finish the landscape around the mausoleum, and it got a bit messy after I changed some stuff to make space. So for this episode I will show you bits and pieces of the decorating, and I won't show all of it because it's a lot of the same, but I will do a real-time part at the end as well as a coaster POV, so be sure to stick around for that. Are you guys excited for the live stream today? Well, I can tell you I'm ecstatic. I honestly can't wait anymore. Always very patient with things like these, but on the day itself, it's just really hard to stay patient. I just want to know already, and I just want to see everything that they have planned for us. I just can't wait anymore. Since I will be placing down a bunch of trees and plants for a while after this, I think I have some time to tell you a bit about what I want to do for the next few episodes. I don't want to be like the full game is coming out, so out with the old and in with the new, but at the same time I do want to be current, and I guess you guys want to see what the full game is like as well, rather than just to watch an old Alpha 3 park. So I feel really strongly about that. I want to wrap up this park. I did see Alpha as a way to discover this game and learn for myself, so I have to compromise a little bit with what is possible and with how much time I have. When the full game is out, I finally won't have to rush things anymore, so that makes me very happy, and that changes a lot of these things that I'm doing and the way I'm doing it. So the best option I can come up with, since this park with the old plans is only about 50-60% done, is that after this episode I will finish building the castle and the coaster so that I can update my game on the 9th and keep this in Alpha 3 Park. Now, to make this all happen, I will have to drop all the ideas that I had for this park, like the whole thing of doing a fantasy village and stuff with dragons, because that is something I definitely still want to do in the near future, and on a bigger scale, and I want to do it right, not half-assed, since it would be quite time-consuming, and in hindsight, I kind of wish that I would have just made the Halloween stuff in a separate park, so I could upload this park for you guys to build in with only the castle in there. But that is something I can still do, so the new plan is I will clear out all the Halloween stuff, get the Skye Kingdom back to how it was before Halloween. I will finish the castle and the coaster, make everything ready, and I will make a blueprint for you guys with only the castle and the coaster in here. Upload a blueprint so you can build in this park and you can have a cool centerpiece and change it to your own liking and plans. I was thinking for a while I could just rush it, but that makes me really uncomfortable. I would have to fill most of it in with just scenery because modular building takes up a lot of time, and I would have to edit the episodes so much that you would only see bits and pieces and not the full progress of things. Of course, it's okay to change the way you do things, but I don't like to do that in the middle of a series. And like I said, I don't really like to do things half-assed, so this is probably the better option. I really love this park though, and who knows, next time I will build in a sandbox I could still finish it. But for now I just want to stay open for new ideas until I've seen what the full game is going to be like. Now that I know that I will have the full game, albeit in beta, in about a week, I'm just so excited to get some new inspiration and enjoy everything that comes our way. And I won't have to work with minimal amount of items anymore, which is something I'm really excited about, because to find so many ways every time to work around something that I really want to make, but just constantly feel like that isn't really possible with what I have now, or it's just a crazy amount of effort. For example, if I want to do a dragon area, I just feel like I'm getting a little bit stuck with the idea that we only have 3 dragons, and the rest of it I will have to make up as I go. There's nothing really in a style like that except for some dragon poo. So I'm just really ready for the full release, and Alpha was the perfect way to discover this game, by the way, what it was all about, and it didn't let me down in any way so far. It was very well optimized, and I think there was just only one time that I had a little bit trouble with the way it was optimized. That was right at the beginning of Alpha 3 when the park just got really overcrowded, but I haven't experienced that problem anymore and haven't been thinking about it. But now that I do think about it, I I think they fixed that problem. So yeah, the game was just already so well optimized, and I kind of expect that for beta as well. Since the beta will only last a week or so, I think. So just to be clear, because I'm getting a bit off track with my thoughts here, and I'm sorry for that, it has been a long week where I had to build 3 sessions because I lost the first and then I had to start again for the last episode. Also had to finish this area for this episode, so it was a very busy week. But after this episode, the next one will be on the 10th. There won't be any episode on this Thursday because I'm uploading today. If I can, I will try to upload it a little bit earlier before the beta release, because that is something I really like to do, but we'll have to see. So when beta comes out, I will probably take some time to discover the full game, so there won't be any beta episodes, I think, unless I find something that I really want to do. But I will start working out a brand new plan for the new series, and I will try to start that around the release date. I want to check out all the gameplay scenarios, get a feel for all the new objects, and get some new inspiration and see what would be fun to do for my next series. I hope you guys aren't too bummed out about me changing the plans on you that you might have been excited for. I will still do those things, only not in this park. I kind of had in mind that I would still have some time in beta, because I kind of just figured that they would release some gameplay scenarios, and since I'm building in Sandbox, I still would have some time to continue on for a little bit. Normally I plan things out very well, but I didn't have the date for the beta and the details, so I did the best that I could. Alright, so here I started working on the exit out of the catacombs for the coaster, and I'm making another smaller mausoleum, so it will look on the outside as if it was a different part of the cemetery, but for the inside it feels like an exit. I kind of wish that I could have done a little bit more of these smaller mausoleums, maybe some broken ones as well, and have some graves in there and some scenery in there, but this will have to do for now, and I do think the end result looks really cool, and you will have to see that at the end of the episode. Here I started placing down some rocks and plants and some different trees, because I don't want this area to feel the same as the forest area. So I placed down some different trees, and I will place some dead trees in here as well. Some more of the spooky trees, of course, because they are just really cool and they fit this area perfectly. This also just really helps, placing down some rocks around this part over here, because the coaster was in the way and the path was a little bit weird, so the terrain looks a little bit off. But now we're just going to start building some gravestones, and we have these awesome windows. They are just perfect for this. So I made a few different ones, and I used a bunch of them a few times. Here I'm just kind of looking for different ways to build these gravestones and see what I could come up with. I'm really happy that I did this Halloween special. This side of the park is totally different from what I had in mind for this park. When I started the castle, I thought I would make fantasy houses, village stuff, and this gave me the chance to do something completely different. If I would ever do something like this in a spooky style, I would need way more items in that style to come up with an idea like that. So this was really cool to do, and a challenge, because I don't know a lot about building mausoleums and gravestones. That is not something I've done before, so that was just really cool to do. Here I raised up the terrain a bit, and I will put in a skeleton and do some more decorating around it. I will also place some candles around the graves, and that just looks really nice. I could have made things way more run down and older looking, but since this is not just a separate Halloween park, I did want it to stay a little bit in the style that I had in mind. Even though I decided to do Halloween inside of this park, I felt like with the castle and the idea that I had, it would just be a little bit more fitting to keep some of the stuff a bit nicer looking. At the same time, I didn't just want to line everything up nicely in rows or something. I did want to place it around a little bit randomly, and I think that looks just a little bit cooler for what we're doing here. So I tried to find a middle way for this to be a little bit nice as well as maybe a little bit rundown. So you won't see everything because I want to show you in real time what the end result is. So after this we're going inside of the catacombs and decorate that for a bit. Also, it can just be very tedious to watch me place all these plants and rocks, and it's kind of the same thing over and over again. So I just want to keep changing it up a little bit. I still really like the coaster though, how it goes into the catacombs and then it goes to the forest area where we started this all, and then it comes back to over here, all the graves and dead trees. And I think it would be awesome to ride this coaster and just see all the different scenery and yeah, go through a little bit of a journey. And here we are in the catacombs, so now I will just be placing down a lot of these pots, and it looks a little bit like they are urns or something like that. I will make this part look a little bit overgrown as well, place some skeletons down, and here I just wanted to change it up a little bit, so have some more of these graves over here where I can place down some more skeletons instead of only pots and stuff like that. And this area really could use some light because probably for you guys it's really dark. When I upload my videos it gets a little bit darker. I don't know why, but YouTube makes your videos a little bit darker. Also the quality drops a little bit, and yeah, that is just something that I don't really understand. It's a big company and I think they could optimize it a little bit, but yeah, it is what it is. So more of these skeletons in here give this more of a creepy feel. Maybe they tortured people in here or something, I don't know. But yeah, it just looks really cool to place down so many of these random things. And that is Osara just screaming, I'm home. So I guess he's home. But where was I? Yeah, just placing down some of these bushes now to make it feel a little bit overgrown and somewhat older. I feel like this fits a little bit better than the vines that we have. They are so pretty. And I just wanted to feel like there was just a bunch of things sticking out of the walls, and also this vine over here just works perfectly for in here to make it feel like all these kind of vines are just coming out of the walls over here. And placing some more lights, and yeah, that is almost it. Then we're going to the real-time part, and after that I will show you the POV of the coaster. So the last thing I will do here is place down some of these candles. And every time I did this, I just feel like it makes a huge difference in the atmosphere, and these candles are awesome and I really love them. Alright, so here we are from the abandoned house over here, the path to the abandoned house. You walk through this arch over here and you come into this new area. So you go down here and you can immediately see I put some more of these gravestones in here. I did a lot more decorating, filled everything in with scenery, and it really looks cool. I will put it on play soon so you can see how it all looks in the dark, but for now I just want to show you what I did. So we have a hanging skeleton over here. Very nice and welcoming to come into this area. Then you have the Psychola. I put up the sign for the right and put another one of these fine arches down. Then we also have the grace over here, which you saw me working on in this episode. And this path over here, which should lead to the smaller mausoleum over here, where the coaster will be coming out from the catacombs. And let's see. So it's just basically a lot of scenery in here. The castle in the background looks still pretty epic. I put down some of these benches and bins, of course, so the park stays nice and neat. Yeah, let me put it on play and we'll go inside. So what I figured out I would do is, let me just give you an overall look first. We'll switch camera modes. So this is how the whole area looks now, and yeah, that looks really cool. So I still had some issues with the queue line. I really wanted this layout for the path. I just think that looks just really nice. So now this became the exit out of the coaster, and I changed it up a little bit, and as you can see, this is now the exit out of the coaster, so that looks really cool. Also, I made the queue line to go over here, and I didn't really plan this out right. This looks a little bit weird with the open spots now, but well, it works well enough, I think. And it's really cool that you can just go by all these little things that I made now on the inside, instead of just making a boring queue outside. And yeah, you can just enter into the coaster from here. I think it works pretty well, even though I didn't plan it like this. Now I will show you the catacombs and how that all looks, and I think the end result is pretty damn awesome. You will see this in the coaster POV after this. But I just want to show you how it looks because this looks really cool. This is probably the coolest thing I've done for this Halloween special, probably together with the mausoleum, of course. So we have these candles and skeletons, some pots and vines sticking out everywhere, some bushes through the walls. And it's really awesome that you have the coaster drop down in here, then slow down and go slowly through these catacombs, and you can really take it in and look around. And then you go outside from here. I really like the idea behind this whole coaster. Last thing I want to show you before we go to the coaster POV is the coaster stats. I don't know why, but I just kind of want to go up here. I can also just click on the tracks, but I also put 2 of these chandeliers on top of each other, and that looks really cool. It makes it look a little bit bigger. Okay, so let's see, where was that again? Over here. You can see the results for the test, and I know a lot of you people really like stats, so I just thought let me just show you that. I think this is a little bit high probably, but I think the rest of it looks pretty good. I believe, I don't know a lot about this, but I believe I heard Silverette say once that we only have coasters with 5Gs or something like that. I don't really remember, but I think so this probably should be a little bit high, and I think the rest of it should be quite good. Overall, I think this coaster, I kindly see it as my first real coaster, because this is the first one I actually feel like that could work in real life as well, except for the lateral G-stand maybe. But yeah, I just really like this coaster. So the last thing I'm gonna show you is how this all looks a little bit in the dark, because I did do some lighting as well, and that really just changes the look of everything. So I'm going to speed it up a little bit because it's almost nighttime. And as you can see, I put some colored lights in here, and that just gives it a whole new vibe. And the Cycola has some extra green lights around it as well, so that just looks really good. Alright, now I think that is it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Like I said, the next episode will be on the 10th, so you can expect me finish the coaster and the castle. And yeah, like I said, I will make a blueprint out of it, and you can just build in this park for yourself. Have fun watching the live streams. I will be there, so I will probably see a few of you over there. I keep saying it, but I'm just so excited. But yeah, here comes the POV of the coaster, guys. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.